just
Hey,
a
this is Scott.
and this is Jay.
And
Site
this is
to
the
hold
Scott and
dirt
Jay
for
Show.
the expansion.
Have you ever been fishing?
Basically, it was the floodway of
my gosh,
the Katy
yes,
River.
there's nothing I love more than
And
fishing.
for years,
Absolutely
nothing built.
so
out
much
there
fun.
except for
I could
Marie's,
spend
steak
all day
house
on the
there
side of a
and
lake
golf
in a
or
boat,
go-kart
whatever.
place. That was
Over
the
on
only,
the other side
Yeah,
of
that was the
Adams.
only thing
Rod
that
in
was
my
out
hand,
in that
line in
area.
the water,
No, there's a little
never
red barn
catching
that
a
sat
thing,
on
and I have
the other side of the
great
street from
time.
where the lake is.
Best
And that
time
was it.
ever.
Yeah, there's
I
nothing
love it.
there. And then a couple of floods,
You know,
along the way.
Jesus.
Actually,
Taught people how to fish.
they called it a what they call it, a dump pit or a dirt
Borrowed pit.
A borrowed
Peter
pit
fishes.
where they stored the
I should
dirt
learn, right?
for the wild.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day in heaven when Peter, John, those guys load me up in a boat and we go fishing. That's
You
gonna
up in a boat.
be that's gonna be so much fun up in heaven, going
Yeah.
fishing.
Yep.
Yep.
Gone fishing.
One day I'll be sitting up in heaven, sipping
So-
lemonade.
I haven't gone fishing very much, and get away. And I haven't. Man, my hat's all jacked up. I sat on
It's
my
sitting on
hat.
it.
I sat on it, and I just ruined the bill. So now it's. Anyway,
Came in with your hat in hand.
I did go fishing off the coast of Corpus Christi, kind of deep.
Deep water fishing.
Yeah, or what do they call it? Coastal fishing or
That's where you go.
deep water fishing. Yeah. And our guide ran out of gas. That when we were out in the middle of the Gulf of it was off of Corpus Christi,
Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico.
That would be the Gulf of Mexico.
So
And
that's quite a story.
This
It's a long
concludes
story.
your geography lesson for the day.
Yeah. So anyway, so
So anyway, yeah.
we went on this fishing trip,
Yeah,
and
you're
it was
puking over
horrible.
the bow.
Yeah, we ran out of gas.
Yeah, that's too bad.
No cell phone coverage. They almost called the Coast Guard out trying to find us, but luckily we got found, and by the end of the day we were done. D-U-N.
Did you catch any fish?
No. We had fish actually fly up into the boat. As we were going across the water, these fish would fly up in the air and they would land in the boat.
That was a horrible guide. I mean, you run out of gas, you don't catch any fish.
We had a great time. So anyway.
So would you recommend that guy on Yelp?
Actually, he was a friend of my brother, and he was a nice guy. It was just one of those days. So anyway, I'm not a big fisherman. I don't know much about fishing, but I think it would be fun, I guess. I'm not one of these people.
I love fishing.
You know, we're getting ready to talk about this new fishing project in Bartlesville,
I'm excited about it.
and the new fishing lake that's coming up in July here. And I'm probably not one of the people that this thing's being built for, but I'm not saying I think it's great. I think it's a great thing. It'll be fun for people. So, you know what? Before we go any further, I think it's about time that we say something about Jude's Health and Java House.
Yes.
You know, Jude's Health and Java House is probably one of the best coffee houses in the city of Bartlesville.
Hands down. When we tried Jude's coffee, we were hooked. Just like a fish on a line, we were hooked.
We were hooked, and so great staff, great products, great coffee.
Say,
Yeah.
in your cup, is that velvet?
No, that's blue velvet.
Only available at Jude's Health and Java.
In Bartlesville, Oklahoma. What about this new fishing lake coming out in Bartlesville? What's up with that?
The M.J. Lee Lake is what it's going to be dubbed, and formerly it was just a little patch of water that was sitting off the side of the road that was there taking up space for more soccer fields, I think. What actually was originally just a site to hold dirt for the expansion of
So
widening
there
of Adams
wasn't there a
Blvd.
lake there before?
There was no. It was just property, somebody's land.
Okay.
Basically, it was the floodway of the Katy River.
Okay.
And for years, nothing built out there except for Marie's steak house there and the golf or the go-kart place. That was
Over
the
on
only,
the other side
Yeah,
of
that was the
Adams.
only thing that was out in that area. There's a little red barn that sat on the other side of the street from where the lake is, and that was it. There was nothing there. And then
And they're going to stock this pond with fish later on this year from Oakland Wildlife.
yeah, so they got to wait for it to rain, and unfortunately, it rained all during construction and very little since they stopped construction and said, "Okay, we're going to fill it with water," and it was like.
Well, they're getting water. They're getting water from
Turkey.
Beulah, which is above, like 12 feet above normal.
Flood stage, yeah.
So now they're pulling the water off of Caney, Turkey Creek, whatever, and pumping the water into the lake to fill it up. So they're not waiting for rain.
I totally ruined my joke. When you have to explain that, it just
Yeah. So, for those of you who like to fish or want to take your kids out fishing, so I imagine a lot of people are going to be taking advantage of this fishing pond, lake. What is it, a pond or a lake?
it would be a lake. They call it a lake. It's really kind of a pondish.
It's a big,
puddle.
small lake. It's a big
Puddle of water.
pond. So if a lot of people take advantage of this, there's going to be a lot of it. Is it big enough to hold as many people as I think are going to go out and use this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, have you seen the earth movers that are down there?
Well, yeah. I mean, I see that it's deep, but I don't see that it's. But it's good. I'm not saying anything about. No, it's a good thing. I'm sure it's big enough. I'm just thinking there's when you go out to a lake to fish, usually you want to get off and away by yourself
Sometimes.
or some friends, whatever.
Sometimes.
But I'm thinking this thing is going to be like. Can people get their boats out there and boat ramp? And
There's a boat ramp. I don't know that you're going to get a
Bathrooms.
yacht. They're going to have bathrooms and stuff out there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that kind of really vitalizes, not even a revitalize it, kind of gives vitality to the area because for a long time it was 2 soccer fields and a parking lot. And occasionally you'd see somebody fishing out there or somebody with a toy RC boat putting around there, but that was about it. Now they're going to have a whole track around the whole lake. And
that's right. They're going to connect to Pathfinder Parkway.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's going to be very good, and just not only just for that, but you got the dog park out there as well,
Yeah.
and so it's a really I think it's going to be a vital area or vital part to the area.
So they got, as I understand, they have multiple terrain. I don't know what to call it to help fishing and
Yes,
the
different
fish
levels.
breeding and that's all I know. I don't. That's
much
all I
about
know.
fish. You get a Bass Pro and know that one.
So Bartlesville has its own city fishing lake out on Adams Road, across the street from Lowe's Home and Garden Center, where the soccer fields are, and so I guess we'll have to do a show on Pathfinder Parkway sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great
I love
place.
it.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Here's the new box. Here we go.
We spent a small fortune on cereal boxes and kept the ladies here at Jude's well fed.
For them to take home and.
Hopefully this one is outside the box and not. There it is. Yep. There it is. Yay.
So
Spent
it's the Black Widow.
at least $30 on that one.
So anyway, y'all want another frisbee?
Oh. You weren't even looking up and all of a sudden flying objects. Yeah.
So you were going down I-35. They've had some boulders rolling down on I-35 south of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And so when you ran up on that, so tell us about
So we're driving down the side of the road, and if you've been down the south
side of the road.
or down the road, sorry, on the side of the road, you see the cliffs of the Arbuckle Mountains, and you're driving along, and you just see all these cliffs. All of a sudden, the size of a school bus.
I'm just not a big water sports person. What about you, Jay?
I love
not that
it.
it's about me. Of course, a lot of it, everything's about me, my wife would say, but
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you notice it's the Scott and Jay show. It's usually what it is. It's the Scott
NJ.